Welcome back to the Poke Report. I'm Curtis Quinlan alongside Amelia Henderson. The Cowboys finished the season with 10 wins for the third time in the past 5 seasons. Now for the 10th straight year, Mike Gundy's team will be playing in a bowl game. Max Gross joins us now to take a look at the Big 12 postseason picture. Max, Oklahoma clinched the Big 12 outright with a win over the Cowboys in Bedlam. Is that enough to propel the Sooners into the playoff?
Yeah, I think it will be enough, Curtis. The Sooners came in at number 3 in the latest rankings and are likely to be selected for the playoff, even with the lack of a conference championship game. However, it is still possible that the committee could snub the Big 12 again, but we'll get to that a little bit later in the show. The Sooners' good wins are a lot more important than its one loss to Texas, according to the playoff committee. I personally would be shocked to see the Big 12 held out of the playoff for a second straight year. Oklahoma could potentially meet up with the Alabama Crimson Tide again, a team they upset in the 2014 Sugar Bowl back when Trevor Knight still started at quarterback.
And what do you think the situation is for OSU after ending the year on back-to-back losses?
Yeah, for the Cowboys, they finished the conference season at 7-2, and since they beat TCU in Week 10, they hold the tiebreaker over the Horned Frogs at the moment. However, if Baylor defeats Texas today, that will give them the tiebreaker over both the Cowboys and the Horned Frogs, likely earning them a bid in the Sugar Bowl to play the SEC representative Ole Miss. Now, the Bears have played on New Year's the last 2 seasons and have come home empty-handed both times with losses to Central Florida in 2014 and Michigan State in 2015. That leaves the Valero Alamo Bowl to choose between Oklahoma State and TCU to see who will be playing in San Antonio. Popular pick by members of the media is TCU matching up with Oregon in a battle of elite offenses. And OSU would likely receive the 4th bid in that scenario, which is the Russell Athletic Bowl in Orlando, a game on December 29th that would likely put them against the number 2 team from the ACC, which is North Carolina, who topped the Coastal Division with 11 wins on the season. And that could be the matchup if the Tar Heels fall to Clemson in the ACC championship later today. North Carolina is a dangerous team that has won every one of its games since a Week 1 loss to South Carolina. And they also average an incredible 41 points per game, which could make for a fun matchup against the Pokes.
So what you're telling me is no easy matchup for Oklahoma State in a bowl game?
No.
That being said, West Virginia takes on Kansas State later today. What kind of bowl implications does that have? Do they affect Oklahoma State?
Well, the Mountaineers have already clinched with their 7 wins, potentially 8. Their result will not affect the Cowboys. A spot in the Advocare V100 Texas Bowl will likely await them with a win or a loss, so West Virginia's result doesn't really matter today. Now, for Kansas State, the situation isn't so cut and dry. The Wildcats currently sit at 5-6, needing a victory to reach the usual 6-win threshold for bowl eligibility. In any other year, a loss would be fatal for Bill Snyder's team. But this year is a different case. With a record 80 bowl slots that need to be filled, the Wildcats could be one of up to 5 teams to receive bowl bids with under 500 records. The NCAA announced earlier this week that the slots would be filled by the 5-win teams with the highest academic progress rate. And right now, the Wildcats currently have the 2nd best rate among those schools that are being considered for bowls and will likely be headed to either the Cactus Bowl or the Liberty Bowl.
And Texas Tech is the only other bowl-eligible team remaining. So where do you see them at?
The Red Raiders are another 7-5 team that will be heading to its 2nd bowl game in 3 years under Coach Cliff Kingsbury. The Red Raiders will also have both the Cactus and Liberty Bowls as options, with an outside chance at the Texas Bowl if West Virginia is not selected. The Big 12 also has a tie-in to the Zaxby's Heart of Dallas Bowl, but the conference doesn't have enough eligible teams to send a representative to that game, and the bowl will be filled by an at-large team.
Texas, Iowa State, Kansas, all not bowl eligible this season. They're going to be watching from home. The Cowboys will be attending a bowl for the 10th straight season. That wouldn't be possible without some incredible individual performances. Lucas Messina takes us through the Poke Report superlatives for the 2015 football season.